being selfish is the best thing that you can do to clear your karma and be the best resource to your community. And in this video, we're going to talk about exactly how to do that. Hello again, my name is Janaea, and this is Practical Spirituality, where we take these obscure concepts that are always talked about in the spiritual community and we make them make sense. We put them into practice in our everyday lives so that we don't just have a beautiful vocabulary, but we actually have the effects, the proof that the stuff works through our real lives, through the actions that we take, and we get to see the effects that it has on your journey, actually making your life better, making you better, so that way you can come here and do the work that you were meant to do. Now, my videos, they may not be for you if you are just beginning your spiritual journey, but it'll be a great place to here's where we want to get, here's the bigger picture overall. The people who watch my videos, we're probably past the grand rising stage. We're more on the okay, but I got work to do. Let's get to the meat and the potatoes and actually get this stuff done, right? This video is for the people who are ready to actually make the changes in their lives and not just want to be a better person, but are actively doing the work to be a better person and can use a little bit more guidance. These are for the people who want to help the people in their lives, their community, their loved ones, and for those people who want to maybe branch out and help more people on a larger scale. And we're actually going to get into that a little bit today in this video. So if you feel like that is aligned with you, then stay tuned, like and subscribe. Today we are going to be talking about being selfish. We're going to be talking about your community, and we're going to be talking about karma and how all of these things fit together to get you on the right path and to make the most impact in your world and that of those around you. Okay, all right, so in this video we are going to be defining, deep diving, understanding. Again, I don't play those wordplay things. Understand. We're gonna understand what karma is, okay? We're going to actually make it make sense. We hear it so much. Oh, good karma, bad karma, right? Well, how do you use this concept and how do you make it a meaningful concept? What the heck is karma? What does it have to do with being selfish? And how can I make sure that the karma that comes to me is beneficial? How can I make sure that the karma that comes to me, thank you, is beneficial to my journey? Okay, that's what we're going to be getting into. And we're going to use the concepts of selfishness and community to kind of make it all fit together. So, Spirit is in here today. I need y'all to know that. So, karma. What is karma? So let's first start off like this. Before we address any topic, we're going to start from the rooter, okay? Everything that exists in this world is my great, amazing God. My great, amazing God is all that is, okay? Now, God is not just the light, but also the dark. Not the up, but the down, the front and the behind, okay? God is everything in between these polarities, right? At the end and in the middle and the beginning, God is the one, right? God is balance if we're thinking conceptually, right? So when we're thinking karma, we don't want to think of a good or a bad. We want to think of neutrality. We want to be not just the creator or the destroyer, but the observer and everything in between. And to come into that place of observance, we've got to neutralize our position, all right? Karma is just a concept, right? At its truth, it just is what it is, and it's neither good or bad. What is good or bad is going to be how you perceive karma in your life. So that's probably going to dictate how you perceive the word in general. But for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it neutral. Karma simply is. Now, what the hell is karma? So now we're going to use two different examples, okay? Karma is essentially the things that come back to you, all right? Now, that could be the good things you do, that could be the bad things you do. And as I said, good and bad are irrelevant here. I want to say the positive things and the negative things. But what determines what that is your integrity, okay? Let's consider a pendulum and a bullseye from one of those fun games at the carnival where you gotta like get it in the center in order for the thing to go up. All right, so first we're going to talk about the pendulum, right? So when it comes to karma, everything that you put out is going to be swinging the pendulum from one side to another. The axis that the pendulum is hanging from, that is, let's say, the axis, the fulcrum, that is your integrity, right? This is your center. This is what your truth is. This is when we're talking about things being in alignment, it's with that part of yourself, right? You're here, okay? So every action that you take, just like one of the universal laws, this world has a rhythm to it, right? Things are going to swing from this way to that way. And you could either be moving towards yourself or against yourself or in alignment, right? So when you do something that is not aligned with your integrity, we go to the left or the right? And I'm guessing the degree in which it is out of alignment, that is where your action is coming from. So let's go to our bullseye analogy now, right? Remember how with that game at the carnival, you're trying to get your little character to shoot across the thing, and you're doing so by making sure that you hit straight in that bullseye? Well, every action that you take from your center is going to allow that thing to go further across the screen. And that analogy is comparable to you coming and progressing along your path, the path of your greatest potential, your ideal life, your ideal self, and you coming into contact with the experiences and opportunities and people and fortune that is meant for you, right? Like that version of yourself where you be like, I know this is for me. This is a desire that was put in my heart. I don't just want this thing. I know it's for me, right? All of that is when it's coming from the actions that you take when you move in alignment. Now, when you take an action that is outside of that bullseye, let's say it's over here, then however far away from the scale of your truth that thing is, and depending on how it affects your heart, meaning if you do something and you feel bad about it, or you don't feel good, or negative emotions come on, right, that slow us down like we talked about in the last video, then that's going to determine that energy, that negative energy, emotions in motion, right? This is going to determine where you go from there, right? How that karma comes back at you, how that energy that you put out comes back at you. I think this is the law of correspondence here, but essentially what goes up must come down, as above, so below, yada, 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 right? So you take an action from the place of alignment, you ascend, or progress. You take an action from out of alignment, the level to which that action is out of the alignment, depending on how it feels internally, is going to be the energy that you send out that comes back to you. Now, no matter what, the energy is going to come back to you. But two things don't affect it: how other people feel and morality, okay? Let's talk about the morality. Morality, not morality. But a lot of people confuse karma with a social plexus of rules, cans and can'ts, what you should do or not. And karma has absolutely nothing to do with that unless you believe in those rules, morality, and blah, 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 blah. So let's take an extreme example, trigger warning, literally, killing someone, okay? If you are someone that, you know, in the hearts of your heart, you've envisioned yourself being like Nikita or Colombiana, and you just know that if push came to shove, you would do what it took to defend yourself, your loved ones, your business, or whatever else matters to you, right? Now, let's just say you grow up thinking the complete opposite, that those actions that end life are terrible and are icky and not good. So let's say we got the terrible, icky person here, or not the terrible, icky person, the person who thinks offing people is terrible and icky, and the person who's like, you might have to do what you got to do. And we're going to consider the family of the one lost, okay? Now, this person who did what they had to do, under no circumstances do they care that what they did, well, they care, right? But it's in alignment with who they are. They know that they was ready to go, right? And so, although that person's family might be like, you're going to get your karma, this person is like, okay, right? Like, they're just living life because what they did was in integrity of themselves. And so it may seem like to other people that person is, but this is what this is part of their programming. This is something that this person knows in their heart they might have had to do. Now, this person might be thinking, oh, I could have got the knee. Oh, I could have just disarmed them. Oh, I could have just, or I shouldn't have. And that person is then going to be feeling so icky about having done that thing that they're going to be reverberating a negative energy and acting from there. And then they might experience something that is more negative from those actions, because now they're sending out the energy of guilt. And now guilt is going to find them by way of something that makes them feel punished, right? Like they're going to be sending out an energy for punishment because internally they're feeling guilt because what they did is not in alignment with their truth. Are we making sense here? And so, one, that is what does not impact your karma, is other people. Another thing, right? And for the sake of one, I tell my people, I grew up Christian, but one of the things about Christianity that I don't necessarily is judgment, right? Now, based off of how great amazing God made us, we have an internal judgment system, meaning that if we feel like we did something that could be quote unquote bad, we're going to be sending out guilt energy, and punishment energy is going to follow up, because that's just, they go hand in hand, right? Now, the only way that we need to be judging somebody is not by how we view their actions, right? But how we think they should be coming up to us, right? How much distance we decide to give them, or how close we allow them to be. If you feel like somebody did something that's completely out of alignment with you, you can say shame, shame, karma, karma. But if it's in alignment with them, then they're good. All you need to know is if their actions make you feel uncomfortable, you give them some distance so that you don't act outside of yourself, okay? All right. Now, we're going to talk about how you can either neutralize your karma. So that way, okay, I don't even want to talk about neutralizing karma, because karma already is neutral. It really does not give a fuck. It's you that does. It's your internal system, right? I kind of alluded to it already, but your emotions are information, okay? All energy is information, and depending on the form and the frequency of which that energy vibrates, that's going to determine what something is and how we see it in this life matrix program thing, okay? Now, your emotions, they let you know the energy that the information that they let you know whether or not your external world is in alignment with your internal world, okay? And so, in order to get your karma into alignment with the ideal version of life you see yourself, you living in your potential energy, in that life that you know that is for you, one of the best ways to do that is to take an altruistic approach on life, right? Meaning you become, all right, let me, hold on. An altruistic approach on life means everything about community. Remember how I said we want to make sure that we are in alignment, that our karma is good, and so that eventually we can have the impact on our community. We want to apply these concepts so that way we can have the impact on the ones that we love. Now let's talk about how this karma, if you feel like your life is a series of unfortunate events, you probably feel like you are very much so in a bad karma space, meaning that a whole lot of bad shit is coming to you. So you must be guilty, so you must be punished. See? No? Something like that. Somewhere subconsciously, that's where you feel like you at. And this is for you or somebody else, but here we go. Now, how do you reverse that, right? How do you get it so that what comes to you are the opportunities, is the fortune, the people, acquaintances, great, amazing things that you know are for you? How do you do that? You do things that are in alignment with yourself, actions that come outside of you, right? And I want to say toward other people or that make an impact on the world, right? So maybe you start helping around the house if you're young. Maybe you start doing some volunteer service. Maybe you start making videos on YouTube. Maybe you start helping your coworkers. Maybe you start But eventually, the thing that you need to do is you need to make an impact on someone else positively from a good place, okay? So if you're somebody who feels like you already do great things and this thing is still happening to you, perhaps you need to impact more people or people who mean more to you, okay? Because when it comes to this energy, you can't fake it, right? You can't just go out and do community service, but actually not give a fuck about the service that you're doing or the people you're serving. Because then it's not in alignment with your integrity, right? And the more people that you help, the more fortune comes back to you. And let's explain why. I already mentioned that my great amazing God is all that is. So that means that every single one of us is a part of the same thing. And so I mentioned in the previous video, like, this is why we have people-pleasing tendencies, because at the end of the day, we know that we're all connected. And you're more connected or more closely connected to the things and the people that you care about. So when you begin to make a positive impact on those things, that puts you back in alignment with yourself, right? And that is you essentially helping to... Right now, I believe that we're in the pendulum swing as a global population, coming from a place of darkness into a lighter place. I don't know when the darkness started, and I'm not sure okay, where in the line we're at, but I know that things are kind of like not in balance or not in the light. I actually think like might be a little hitch somewhere in that swing of the pendulum, right? So like we are in a place where we need more people to kind of like turn on their light so that we can get back either to a place of progress, back to a center, but my own theory. So anyway, when you are positively impacting the things you care about and more of them, then those things come back not only to you, but they improve or balance out, restore the balance, or I want to say lighten or brighten or progress the path that my great amazing all that is on. Is my all amazing on a path? Because all paths are here and now. We'll have to talk about that another time, right? Hermetics, okay? But anyways, that's what you're doing. You're making this whole entire thing progress, right? Whatever this thing is, we are moving somewhere. And when you act in alignment and you make a bigger impact, you're helping more and more of us get to where we need to be, okay? And so that is how you will reverse your karma, because you'll start to notice that when you're doing the things that are in alignment with yourself And when you are doing things that have purpose and meaning to you, you'll notice that you'll stop seeing less of that bad karma. You won't even have to worry about karma so much, because you'll be doing so much or putting out so much energy that is positive and meaningful to you that it will impact your community. And so where does being selfish come in? Well, if you have a community, if you have things you care about, it's so easy. Oh, new video. So if you have a community that you care about, or an organization or a cause, whatever that is, whatever that thing that is in alignment with you, that you know, when you be like, if that thing is not doing well, I'm a little conflicted, okay? Well, to get unconflicted, you have to make an impact on it. And so that means that there is something that impacts you as well. Now, why do you have to be selfish? Because if you are not selfish, you will be distracted by your community. You will be distracted to the cause. And what is important in remembering this is conservation. This is what I mean by selfish, okay? Now, let's take a little story time, because I want to get into the difference between selfish and selfish. Now, when I was younger, I was selfish. And I'm talking about, I thought of nobody but myself in my internal dialogue, because I thought nobody thought of me. And so I was always checking for myself to make sure I was good, and always waiting for other people to check for me to make sure I was good, because I didn't think that people were checking for me. And so I only thought about myself, okay? And that was damn near like being in hell, because as I was thinking about myself, what I wasn't doing was doing the things I wanted other people to do for me, to me. I was not. So myself was, I was thinking about what I wanted for me, but not actually doing all of those things, expecting them from outside of me. So my focus was never on making me better. It was on what I didn't have and what I wanted other people to do to make me feel better. Okay? And so I was selfish, and my friendships were shallow, and I didn't have, I ain't had no man, and I wanted a man so bad at that time. So let's talk about selfish, okay? Now, to be selfish is to consider yourself, right? Now, that does not mean not to think about the other things, but that means make sure, in this good old fashioned annoying saying, that your cup is full, okay? That means that, yes, your community might be in trouble, but if you have a flat tire, you must make sure you can get there, okay? So you must unflatten that tire. You must put some air in it, okay? If you are sick and your community is going through it, it's not your place or time to go ahead and go outside and then be vulnerable to more sickness and then be unhelpful, okay? It's not the time. If you are broke, okay, and you are donating more money than you have to actually make something impactful, because remember, impact has a big part to do with clearing this karma. It has to be something that matters, and it has to impact someone, okay? If you are broke, but you're not, and you're donating all this money, and you're not saving up enough energy or enough funds to do the things that would have an actual impact on your community, it's not your time, okay? If you are, if you're a speaker and you don't know how to talk to your community, but you just want to talk for the sake of talking because you're frustrated, it's time for you to be quiet, right? You got to figure out how to make sure that what you're saying is going to have that impact. Because if it doesn't connect to the community, we're wasting our good energies here, right? And I do believe that the things that you do that are meant for you give you energy. But if you're not doing them in that way, we're getting depleted. The cup is getting less full. The cup is emptying out. And that's not what we want to do, okay? We do want that cup to overflow. And that's going to come from doing the things in an impactful way. That may take more time. That may take more focus, discipline, education, or information, okay? Because education ain't always the same as information, and A lot of people be educated but don't know. Okay? So yeah, you have to be selfish, right? You have to make sure that in all of those areas you are being taken care of. And that is you doing it, right? Even if your job is to be the best mom, the best wife, the best employee, business owner, you have to make sure that you are in a position to do so. And that has to be your responsibility no matter what. So you have to always be checking for yourself and make sure that everybody else is a priority. Because let's think about it. Like I said, my great amazing God is in each and every one of us. Okay? You know how they say put God first? Well, God put God inside of you. So if you don't honor yourself, you're already out of alignment. If you're not honoring yourself and paying attention to yourself, you might not even know when you're out of alignment, which means there we go, karma, right? Does that make sense? And so there we go, guys. That is really the basis of it. You have to put yourself first. When you put yourself first, you know when you're acting out of integrity. You're considering and reflecting the actions that you've taken. So you know which ones you maybe want to work over again. So that way the next time an opportunity presents itself, you can act in alignment with yourself. Or you're planning and being mindful and really putting your energy into how you can make a great impact on your community, right? And you know, it may seem selfish to make a video about doing best for the community for you, but at the end of the day, it is for you, right? You have to know that you are important enough to put before the things you care about. You should care about yourself most. You should. You really should. And I say that unhumbly. I say that absolutely. Like, you should be the number one person in your life. And the thing about it is, people who value themselves, they know how much of a value they are, or how much of an asset they are, and how valuable they are to the people around them. And when you feel like you're taken care of, you are more than willing to give back to the things and the people that you care about. It's like, you know, when you make some good ass food, or you go to a restaurant where the food was bang, you like, I gotta put people on. I gotta share this with you. Have some. This is where I went. You know, you have a good experience with a business. You like, let me see you my referral code. I'm gonna get taken care of, and you're gonna get some of this great, amazing stuff that's gonna make you better. And I'm so fucking happy to share it with you because I love us, right? I love me and I love you. I'm happy for you being introduced to this amazing thing. I'm happy for me for putting you on, not only how it makes me feel, but I'm also benefited from it. You have to be selfish in order to be the person you're meant to be. You're gonna have to put you first. And that is the only way that you will start doing the things that are in alignment with yourself. Because when you start to realize what's not, you ain't gonna take that path no more, because it doesn't serve you to do so. Or when you do stray, it's gonna be your business to get back on your business, right? You're gonna be on your mission, and that's one of you're gonna be on your mission, okay? And that is where you'll find purpose and meaning from your life. And that's where all of the things that matter to you are going to come into you. This is where we, like, you know, I used to smoke, but like, all right, you put 5, I got 5. Like, we gonna match. My great amazing God, this entity that is, says through universal law, okay, you got 5, I got 5 racks. Let's go, right? Like, we about to get lifted, elevated, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about to be a good ass time. And the thing is, only you can give that to you. And although the world will contribute, that will be directly impacted by how much you contribute to yourself. So that way you can contribute to the things that matter, because it's going to take energy, time, attention, points, skill development in order to have an impact on the things you care about. It's going to take discipline and conservation in order to have an impact on the things you care about. And it's not until you're doing those things and doing them a lot more consistently that you actually start to see your life become what you need it to be for you and for the people around you. Okay? And so we'll talk about how things can snowball another time. But for now, that's where I want to leave it. All right, guys? If you hear somebody else talking about karma, clear that shit up, okay? Like, this is not a good or bad thing. This is not a shame, go to church thing. This is a whatever someone has in their heart and what they do, okay? It ain't got nothing to do with you except for where you put them. That's not your business. That's not your business. And yeah, like, let's just stop using these concepts so willy-nilly, making them so commercialized. Oh, good, bad karma. I be getting annoyed. Can you tell? Do you be getting annoyed? Like, all right, that's my second little timestamp. If you be getting annoyed, put that in the comments. If you be getting annoyed, tell me the thing of the spiritual community that be like, you're embarrassing me, okay? I can't stand when y'all be saying that shit. Good rising. Good karma to you all. Oh, you're a Libra. I love astrology, but like when somebody be like, Libras be that, I be like, but what about this sun, moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, right? Like, there's more to it. What's going on, right? What about the trends that's happening right now? I can't stand some of the things that be up in these social media bandwagoner conversations. They get on my nerves, y'all. They get on my fucking nerves. But that also be making me laugh when I talk about that, so... All right, I will talk to you all in the next one because our show is about to enter into a ramble, and that is not necessary for this video. But as always, the way that we show that we appreciate what we know, my great amazing God don't care so much, but your team might. This video is sponsored by my great amazing ancestors, okay? My angels, my agents, the gods, the guides that are here to help us out along the way. The unidentified, aka the people that don't know themselves. I feel that part of them that wants to be seen and heard and empowered. And so we do this for all of us because that is just us getting back to that balance. And like, don't you just know it? Like, okay? And so that's what this video is for. And how we show our appreciation is by acting like we know, okay? We take these great, amazing concepts and we actually apply them practically to our lives. You think about these things and you think about the situations where they would have benefited from you, and then you do what you're meant to do, right? Do the things that are in alignment for you, per the title of this video. And hello, life is amazing. We show our gratitude and we're gifted. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just nice to show gratitude and appreciation to those that are here for us. And also, this video is a great, amazing thank you to you. So if you enjoyed this, like it, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Peace. And that is a wrap. It's a wrap. Just waiting to turn it off on my Christmas Apple Watch. Am I a Christian? No, but I love gifts and family, and I love to celebrate things that at this point mean those things. Okay.